This episode, I'm going to be diving into physical intimacy, sexual intimacy, what it means to really open up and be vulnerable. I'm going to break down how men can support women better and how women can support men better. And before I get into it, I must preface, I'm not a dating expert or a relationship coach. I don't claim to be any of that. In fact, I'm so much more than that, and none of it at the same time. What a paradox. Anyway, I just want to make it clear that this is my experience that I'm sharing and what has worked really well for my clients. And I've got clients that have come out of marriages that don't feel aligned and have very quickly attracted conscious, loving relationships, an intimate relationship within a very short amount of time. So it's quite interesting what can happen when you step into your authenticity, when you start unlocking the trauma and the limiting beliefs and the stories that hold you back and keep you stuck in the familiar yet uncomfortable patterns from your past. Beautiful human beings, what is up? Welcome to episode 9 of Soul Speaks with SPAC. I'm grateful to have you here. I'm grateful to be here with you. And today's episode is all about relationships. This has been a topic I've been sharing more about right now on my social platforms, and it's been getting a lot of attention. There are many conflicts, there are many disagreements, there are many questions when it comes to how we can show up powerfully in relationships. And today I want to break all of this down. Today I'm going to be diving into masculine and feminine polarity and what that even means, and how we can use these concepts to show up more lovingly, more purposefully, more meaningfully in our relationships and in the world. And ultimately, it all comes back to the relationship we have to ourselves. So make sure you stay to the end, because I'm going to break down some practical tips and practices that you can start acting upon today to improve the quality of the relationship you have to yourself, which is going to, in effect, shift the quality of your life, of your relationships. So before we dive in, if right now you're in a relationship that maybe you've been in for a period of time and you're kind of questioning right now whether it is really in alignment with you. Maybe you're questioning whether you can really stay in this relationship for the next 6 to 12 months, maybe the next 3 to 5 years. What does that look like? And I think when you feel lost in your relationship or you're questioning it, it is really important to ask yourself those bigger questions, like, do I truly see myself being with this person for the next 5 to 10 years? And if not, then maybe now is the time to make the shift that needs to happen for you to reconnect to yourself and choose yourself. And that way, I believe you will be able to attract a relationship that is more aligned with you. Maybe right now you're out in the dating scene, you're looking for love. Maybe you're questioning whether you will ever find a healthy, conscious partner. And maybe right now you are in a relationship where you do love this person, but there's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of conflict, there's a lot of disconnection, there's a lot of pain there, and there's a lot that needs to be worked through in order for this relationship to come back online, for that spark to be reignited. So how do we apply this to magnify love and connection in our relationships? Well, here's the thing. 80% of us males are more masculine dominant. 80% of females are more feminine dominant. And then the 20% are more neutral, not so masculine, not so feminine, somewhere in the middle. And here's the part where it becomes a little bit tricky. When we come into a relationship with someone else, if we have emotional wounding, trauma, patterns that we are not really aware of, we may kind of subconsciously reverse the roles. So the woman can become more masculine. She can become more of a leader. She can start directing. She can start telling this man what to do and, in a way, mothering this man. And on the other hand, the man can become more feminine, more soft, more kind of go with the flow, and kind of steps into this people pleaser type role. And what ends up happening here is we start to lose our natural state of being, and we start to lose attraction to our partner. We start to lose attraction to ourselves because we are not operating authentically. And so this is where masculine and feminine dynamics are so important, and this is where they come in. So I'm going to break down some practical steps for men to be more masculine and for women to be more feminine. Before I get into that, I want to paint the picture of how masculine and feminine play out in our surroundings. You can think of the masculine as the strong, unwavering, unchanging, the structure, the trees, the mountains, the rocks that don't really move. They're strong, they're stable. And then you can think of the feminine as the changing of the seasons, the weather, the flow, the rain, the wind, the storms. Okay, and the strong masculine is able to weather the storms. The strong masculine is able to stay present and grounded and create that sense of safety and strength while the feminine flows. So in relationships, if a man is not able to create a safe environment through providing financially, through providing a safe environment, through providing emotional safety, then his woman is probably going to start to adopt more masculine qualities and become rigid and stiff and directive, and she's going to lose her natural feminine essence. And so I invite you right now to do this awareness practice with me. If you're a man and you're more masculine dominant, or if you're a woman and you're more feminine dominant, right now, are you living truly with what feels right for you? Or right now, are you a woman that has taken on all of these masculine-like qualities, directing, leading, mothering in a way? Do you feel like you've got to mother your man? Do you feel like you've got to cook and clean and do absolutely everything for your man and provide emotional support and encourage your man to get out there and do things and get him to exercise? Or is your man taking the lead? Is he providing financially? Is he providing a space where you can express what you're feeling and feel safe to do that without him necessarily fixing and solving your problems and these kind of things? Again, there's no right or wrong way to be. It's simply an opportunity to drop in and be aware. And on the other hand, if you're a man that is naturally more masculine, have you adopted some feminine qualities? Have you become soft and weak and passive and not really sure about where you're going and what you're doing? And I'm not saying that this is the way that women are. I'm simply saying that if as a man you've softened and you've become a little bit complacent and a little bit weak and you're not really directing or leading your life, then you've likely stepped into more of a feminine role. And it's probably the case that you're not really experiencing as much sexual intimacy and attraction to your woman as you once did. And this is because you guys have switched roles. And the truth is, you as the man are the leader in the relationship. You lead by example. You set the pace. You set the standard. And so if you right now are a man that has stepped more into that feminine side, it is time you take responsibility and you start embracing your masculinity, getting clear on what the vision is for this relationship, getting clear on what the vision is for your life. Where are you going? What is the vision of this relationship? Set up a daily and/or weekly intentional catch up with your feminine woman to check in and see how she's feeling, to get clear on what you guys are working towards as individuals and as a couple. You as the man are the leader. You take the lead and your woman can soften and be in her feminine essence within your leadership, within your ability to lead. But this comes back to you trusting yourself. This comes back to you leading your own life. And so right now, if as a man you feel like you have adopted these feminine qualities, you've become a little bit soft, I invite you to start challenging yourself, because a masculine man thrives when he is being challenged. And this is up to you to start challenging yourself. And of course, you as a woman, for the ladies listening out there, you're able to start challenging your man to step more into his masculinity as well. And ladies, a simple way you can invite your man to step more into his masculinity is by saying, babe, I find it so sexy when you are living on purpose, when you are going after something in your life. That really turns me on. I really find it attractive. And right here, what you've done, ladies, is you've challenged your man. You've spoken about what is important to you. You've also brought in a little bit of taste and flavor to kind of spice it up a little bit. It gives him something to strive towards, and men love to be challenged. So this awareness practice right here is a simple way you can become more aware of what your natural orientation is and whether you're living in alignment with that right now, and what you can do in order to be able to shift and to step more into your authentic energy. So if you're a woman right now and you feel like you've stepped more into that masculine role, then this is an opportunity for you to soften, for you to let go of the reins, for you to let go of control, for you to start trusting in your man and inviting him in to lead, inviting him in to see you and what is important to you. And this requires you as a woman to be vulnerable, to be honest, to be authentic. And I believe this is one of the most powerful things you can do as a woman, because if you complain towards your man, if you blame your man, if you become frustrated at your man, if you're directing your man in a way you are mothering him, that is going to remind him of his mother. And he's going to start to become bitter and resentful towards you. And you're, of course, going to become bitter and resentful towards him as well. This is why mothering your man never works. This is why it is not a good idea. Instead, when you get clear on what you value as a woman, what is important to you to feel safe, to feel seen, to feel honored in your relationship, and you can own that and you can communicate that with your man, you are inviting him in to truly see you. This strengthens the connection. This gives him a challenge, an invitation, something to live up to. And this is not you saying to your man that you're not good enough as you are. No, this is you inviting him in to magnify the love, the connection, and the intimacy. So that right there is a little insight to masculine and feminine polarity and how you can start applying that in your own life and in your relationships. Now we're going to dive into some really common things that I see playing out in relationships. And this is something that I've had hundreds and hundreds of women reaching out to me over the last couple of weeks after a particular post that I put out on social media about men carrying a lot of trauma. Okay, so this is a very common theme that I'm hearing about. And so women are reaching out to me and saying, I've got a man that has a lot of trauma and he's not aware of it, and he gets angry, he shuts down, he disconnects within the relationship, and I just want to help him. Like, I want to improve this relationship. I see so much potential with him and within the relationship, and I want him to start healing. I'm on this healing journey myself, and I want him to kind of start to get it so that we can create a family, so that we can live a beautiful life. So right now, if you're a woman and you feel like this is the situation you're in, your man has trauma, or he has patterns, he has habits of shutting down and getting angry and rejecting what it is that you're saying, getting defensive, then you probably feel a type of way. You probably feel deep down a little unsafe. You probably feel like you're walking around on eggshells, and this is not a good place to be. This is not comfortable because, again, it comes back to the masculine and the feminine. You are going to start to become more masculine, more analytical, more stiff and rigid. And your man is going to become a little more feminine, a little more soft, a little more passive, a little more weak. He's going to avoid those kind of conversations because they are super triggering for him. So I want to dive into a little bit about why this is playing out. And then I want to share some practical steps for you as a woman and then for you as a man, so that you can start to navigate through this in a way that is going to magnify love, is going to lead to healing and growth and connection. So first of all, I believe the reason this is playing out really does boil down to our childhood. We all have come from different backgrounds, okay? And as men, I'm just going to speak for men here right now. As a man, I grew up with the culture of big boys don't cry. Bottle your emotions up, get on with it, keep charging on. And I experienced a little bit of trauma as a little kid. Like, I got yelled at quite loudly and intensely when I was 2 years old by this guy. And I'm not going to get into that story. It wasn't my dad, but my dad stuck up for me and went off at this guy as well. And that was my dad's way of protecting me, you know. But all I internalized from that situation is Jake having fun, Jake being himself, Jake allowing himself to enjoy life is not safe. So then I walked around for the majority of my childhood and my teenage years wearing a mask and trying to make everyone feel comfortable and happy so that I couldn't get in trouble, or so that I couldn't feel the way that I felt back then. So it's just insane how things like that shape our entire reality. So in a relationship, okay, this is the most intimate we are with another human being, right? We're truly vulnerable, and that can be a very difficult thing. So I believe that we are all mirrors for each other, and what we see in someone else is something that we see in ourselves. So if we are judging someone else, it's likely because we haven't accepted that part of ourselves. So in a relationship, for example, when a woman comes forward and she wants to start speaking about how she's feeling, the man might internalize this as he has done something wrong, or what he is already doing is not enough. And so what he might do is problem solve her or fix her or tell her that what she's feeling, isn't true. When women are sensitive creatures, women are emotional beings. I believe women are more operating from their body, from their emotions, from what they feel from moment to moment. And then on the other hand, I believe as men, we tend to operate a little bit more linear. We operate a little bit more from our mind, less from our feelings. And we're problem solvers. We want to fix and problem solve things. So we haven't really been taught as men, most of us, to just listen to our women and hear what they have to say without taking it personally, without invalidating what they feel. We haven't learned to really listen to our women. And I believe this is one of the most powerful things that we can do as men for our women, is to create a safe space for them to express what they are feeling without taking it personally, without thinking that it's because we're not doing enough or we're not enough, like putting all of our own stuff to the side to really listen and hear them. So it does not matter if we're men or women, we all have some form of childhood trauma. We all have some form of emotional baggage, some form of pattern that is really a survival strategy that has kept us alive until this point. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's optimal to enhance love and connection in relationships. There are many different ways that childhood trauma can play out in relationships. I've just touched upon this a little bit to help you understand how this works. But now, if you're a woman and you want your man to start doing some healing work, if you know that he has unhealthy patterns that are playing out, first of all, I want you to think about, what are you in relationship to this? What role do you play in this? Are you in your full power as a woman? Are you really doing the healing work? Have you really taken ownership of your own patterns before trying to focus on your man? Because I believe that it doesn't matter if we're men or women, we do tend to focus on our opposite, on our partner, and about all of the things that they can improve without considering how we can improve, how we want to show up in relationships. And I believe this is the most powerful thing that we can do in relationships, is to get clear on how we want to show up in a relationship. Not so much how we expect our partner to show up, but how we want to show up in relationship. Because that is the ultimate thing that we have control over. And I believe that this inspires our partner to show up more powerfully as well when we are showing up that way ourselves. And this is not always the case. So right now, whether you're a man or a woman, you might feel like, I'm showing up as best as I possibly can. I am doing everything right now, but I feel like my partner is just complacent. I feel like they're happy to go with the flow and they're not really willing to do the work. So now this is an opportunity for you to ask yourself, what do I want to be in relationship to that? You can only try so hard. As my dad always used to say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. Okay? You can only do so much before you've got to protect your own peace. So it does come back to your own self-love, your own boundaries. How much are you willing to tolerate? How much do you really love this person? How much potential do you really see? Think about the bigger picture. Because if you stick through a relationship with the hope that things are going to get better, and you constantly put the expectation onto your partner to shift and change and do the healing work, then you in a way are saying to God, Spirit, Source, the universe, whatever you believe in, that you don't really trust in yourself, because you have this intuitive feeling that this is not right, but you're just staying because it's familiar. You're just staying because you're scared to do something different. Then you're going to stay stuck. So it comes back to you and how you want to be in relationship to this situation, to your partner not doing the work, quote unquote. So what do you want to do? Do you want to stick with it? Do you want to stick through it? Is there hope? Is there really potential? And if there is not, then it's time to cut the cord. It's time to prioritize your own self-love. It is time to separate. Elevation requires separation. To elevate, you must separate. That is the harsh truth of this reality that we are all living in. All right? This means cutting that energetic cord. This means getting clear on the kind of partner that you want to attract in. This means becoming the kind of partner that you want to attract in, embodying the qualities that you expect from your dream partner, because you become what you think about and you attract what you are. So this person that you are with right now, you've attracted them into your life for a reason. Maybe it was many years ago. Maybe it was this kind of trauma bond. It was because you had wounds that kind of molded with theirs and you've continuously triggered each other. And there's definitely been opportunities to grow and heal together, but maybe it's just at a point where there's no way forward. And this is something that you've got to discern yourself. You've got to use your own discernment for where you are at. This is going to be very dependent on you and where you are at. If you decide, I really love this person and I want to make this work, I want us to both heal together, okay? First of all, if you're a woman and you feel like you're doing all of the work and you feel like your man is not, and you really want him to start doing the work, men respond positively to challenge. Men do not respond positively to being directed and told what to do, and that is because a masculine dominant man, that is his biological way of being, is to lead and direct. And so if you as a woman are calling him out and saying, you've got trauma that you need to heal, go and see a therapist, do this and do that, you're sounding like his mum. He's going to become bitter. He's going to be very resistant towards that. And so this is where it comes back to you getting clear on what you value, getting clear on what is important to you in a relationship and communicating that with your man. Listen, my love, I see you. I know the man that you are. There is so much potential in this relationship and I'm here. I want to make this work. And in order for me to feel safe in this relationship, in order for me to feel honored and valued, I need you to be able to hear me, to hear the words that I'm speaking, to not feel the need to fix or solve my problems, to simply listen to me. Okay? It's not about you in those moments. It is about me and expressing what is coming through. So this is as simple as it can be for you as a woman. By honoring what is on your heart and communicating that with your man, you invite him in to see you. You challenge him to step in to more of a leadership role. This will help you embrace more of your feminine side, and this invites him to step more into his masculinity, which is going to enhance and increase the polarity because he's going to be more in his authentic energy. He's going to be more in his power, and you are going to be more in your authentic energy. And this is where the magic lies. So a couple of other things that you can do as a woman to invite your man to step more into his masculinity is say, babe, I find it sexy when you plan something, whether you plan a picnic, whether you plan a dinner. This is something that I love. It really turns me on. It makes me feel sexy and loved and cared about. Your man is going to love that. I believe he's going to gravitate towards that because you're challenging him. You're not complaining. You're not blaming. You're inviting him in. All right. Another way that you can help him step more into his masculinity is by encouraging him to seek out a men's group. There are men's communities all around the world, both online and in person. I'm a part of an online community. I've also been part of men's groups all around the world in Portugal, in Austin, Texas. That was my favorite one. It is so powerful when healthy masculine men come together. We work out together, we connect, we share stories, we speak about things that most men typically wouldn't speak about. I had never experienced anything like this before. The power of coming together as men and challenging ourselves physically, really connecting on an emotional level is like nothing I'd ever experienced before. When I was in Austin, Texas, every week there was a weekly workout. We came together as men outdoors. There was 50 plus of us, and there were some high-level coaches within the group that would run the workout. Then by the end of it, there'd be music playing. We'd be dancing around like little kids. And it was just such a physical and emotional release, like this energetic release. At the end of the session, we'd all come together and there'd be a leader each week that would share an inspirational story, something that was truly meaningful to them. And what happened after this really shocked me. Then a lot of men would come out and start sharing vulnerably, emotionally charged stories. And it was such a healing and powerful experience. And I would do this every week while I was living in Austin, Texas. And so this is why I believe that all of us as men can benefit massively from men's communities, men's groups. These are online, these are in person, but it is important for us as men to seek that out. And so this is a way that you as a woman can invite your men to step more into this work. We thrive as a tribe of men. We are more likely to work through these traumas and things with other men, not with other women. So this is why I believe these containers, these groups are so freaking healing and so powerful. And I've had a lot of people, especially you ladies, asking me when I'm going to run men's workshops in Australia, and that is going to be coming soon. I believe 2024 next year, I'll run my first men's workshop. I'll probably run a workshop for couples as well, men and women. And I believe that it's going to be an absolute game changer. So stay tuned for that. So we have gone deep here, and I believe this can become a series. I can do a part 2, 3, 4. There's so much to talk about on this topic. So if you have any specific questions, drop them in the comments and I can answer those on my future episodes. The way I want to wrap this one up is with some practical tips, some practices that you can incorporate daily to embrace either more of your feminine energy or more of your masculine energy. So if you're a woman and you want to embrace more of your feminine energy, what are some practices that can help you soften? Well, I love a simple breathwork practice. Breathing deeply in through the nose into your belly, breathing out through your mouth through pursed lips like this. Allowing the muscles in your body to relax, allowing yourself to melt into the earth, to be held by the earth, allowing yourself to open up your heart as a woman. If you've been wearing the pants and you've been in this masculine role for quite a while, you probably have a lot of physical tension in your body, a lot of energetic blockages, a blocked throat, a blocked heart, a blocked pelvic floor area, blocked stomach, poor digestion. All of these are symptoms of you not really being in your natural feminine energy, your flow. So breath work is a really nice practice. Dancing, singing, using your voice, allowing that energy to come through. Movement, yoga, something that gets you into your body. I've got plenty of mobility practices on the channel. Check those out. They're really nice to just get back into your body, to start opening and lengthening your body. And breath work, movement, and nutrition are pillars that are all covered in my mentorship program. So if you feel like you want to dive deeper and you want more support with this, feel free to fill out an application form, and either myself or my team will get back to you to organize a connection call so that we can dive deeper and see if my program is a good fit for you. So another way that you can embrace more of your feminine side as a woman is to start receiving, is to stop giving so much, to stop trying so much, stop forcing and start flowing. Stop giving and pushing and start allowing. So what does that mean to you? This could mean, again, what I said earlier in the episode, by honoring your needs, valuing your needs, communicating those with your man, and then allowing yourself to receive his leadership, allowing yourself to receive from him, whether that's him taking you on a nice dinner, whether that's him organizing a date night, whether that's him setting up a sacred sexual container where you guys just connect sexually, intimately, in a nice way. Like, this is beautiful. As a woman, to be able to receive that from your man. I believe that that is naturally what women want to receive at their core. And no, I'm not a woman and I'm not speaking for all the women out there. I just believe, based on my own female clients, based on the feedback that I get, women are biologically wired to receive love. You guys want to receive from your man. Now, for my brothers out there, the men that want to embrace more of their masculinity, it comes back to getting clear on what your purpose is. What is your vision for your life? What are you passionate about? What are you excited about? What are you creating? The masculine's greatest desire is freedom, the freedom to create. All right. So if right now you're not working towards any goals, you're not really creating anything as a man, you're kind of just working a job, working for an employer, it doesn't really set your soul on fire, you're just kind of getting by, then you're not really living in your full power and potential as a man. So what needs to shift? What can you start doing? For me right now, I'm creating my videos. I've created my coaching program. I'm supporting people all around the world. This is something that I feel passionate about. This is something that I find a lot of meaning in. This is something that lights me up. I'm doing this on a Saturday, right? I used to be out partying on a Saturday. I used to be out drinking. Now I'm living in alignment with my purpose, with my passion. And this brings me so much joy. This to me is freedom. And this amplifies all of the relationships in my life. This shifts everything around me. When I'm living on purpose as a man, everything outside is just a reflection of that. And it is freaking beautiful. Hurrah, yes. All right. So you as a man, get clear on your purpose, get clear on your vision, your mission, your direction. Okay. Now, if you want to really enhance the polarity, if you want to really increase the magnetism within your relationship as a man, here's what I invite you to do. Every week, have an intentional check-in with your woman. This could be an hour on a Sunday morning over coffee. Babe, what's three things that you've loved about this week, that I've done, that you've done? What is 1 to 3 things that you want to work on in the week ahead? Here's 1 to 3 things that I'm working on over the next week. What are we working towards as a couple? All right, set the tone as the man, set the vision, craft that vision, set the plan, set the direction, and then ask how that feels to your woman. Get that feedback from her, because she is one of, if not your greatest gift. Her feminine qualities, her intuition, her emotional body, her sensitivity to be able to feel into the plan that you've created. And for you to take that feedback and be open to that feedback, this is this divine union. This is where you guys become a fucking power couple. You're operating together, but you as the man are leading. You're taking the lead, and this makes her feel incredibly safe. She trusts in you. This allows you to feel strong and powerful. She's more sexually attracted to the man that is taking the lead, the man that is leading his life, the man that is leading the relationship. Okay, and this is not to say that you take control and she doesn't have a say. No, this is you taking the lead and then checking in with her, seeing how she feels. This is so important. Another way to embrace your masculinity as a man is to seek challenge, is to challenge your body physically. Build that freaking body, my bro. A man that is in shape is a man that is in his power. The other day, I had a couple hours in between clients, and I went into the gym and I cranked the music up as loud as I could, and I smashed out this hectic weight circuit, a full body circuit, and then I finished using the ski erg. I finished with cardio, and I felt like a freaking boss after it. It brought so much energy into my body. It just enlivened me. It made me feel powerful. And I believe as men, we need to constantly be seeking challenge, because if we're not seeking challenge, we're seeking comfort. We're complacent. And then maybe we turn to porn, we turn to jerking off, we turn to eating shitty processed food, and we're not really in our power. And our women, being the sensitive creatures that they are, can sense that, and they're going to start to slowly lose trust in us. It's really attractive to women when us as men are seeking challenge, when we are working towards something, when we are building. That is what we are here to do as men. So embrace your masculinity by getting clear on your purpose, your vision, your mission, seeking challenge, building your body, setting the pace for your relationship, setting the standard, creating intentional moments throughout the week to drop in with your woman, to be fully present with her. And the final 2 tips that I want to share with you as a man to embrace more of your masculine side is, number 1, having a grounding practice. It is so important for you as a man to be able to hold a lot of energy in your physical body. All right, so this means clearing your energetic channel. Think of your body as your life vessel. There is energy flowing through. But if you are not allowing yourself to release and recharge, then you're going to be taking so much in: social media, complaints from your parents, complaints from your partner, complaints from your boss. Just all of this stuff becomes clogged up in your physical body. And then you're going to be very susceptible to triggers. So this is why it is so important for men or women to have a grounding practice, a practice to unplug, to let go of distractions, to go out into nature. I love going to the woods. I love getting out onto the beach, getting my toes in the sand, getting the cold water on my skin, but really just unplugging and detaching and reconnecting to the elements, reconnecting to the earth. This charges your body with positive electrons. There's so much scientific research on that. I don't have to get into that. Check out Andrew Huberman's podcast. He talks about all that. Having a practice that grounds you to the earth, that gets you into your physical body, that allows you to move stagnant energy out of your body, that allows you to really just be present, okay? And this then is an opportunity for you to reflect on where you're at in life, to reflect on your vision, your mission, your purpose. This is what I love to do. 2 of my favorite grounding practices are to go into the woods, to take off my shoes and my socks, bare feet, do a bodyweight circuit in the sun, take my shirt off, breathe deeply, do a breathwork practice. This is a nice opportunity to visualize, to get clear on my vision, my mission, my purpose, to check in with myself physiologically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Am I attuned right now? How am I living? How am I leading my life? Asking myself deeper questions. And then the other practice that I love to ground is going into the ocean, getting that cold water on my skin, getting my toes in the sand. The ocean is like a big salt bath full of beautiful minerals that are so great for the skin, that are great for freaking everything. So those are my two favorite grounding practices. There are millions out there, but find what works for you and stick to it at least once a week, if not twice a week, if not every freaking day, if you can. Now, the final thing that I want to share for you as a man to increase the magnetism within your relationship, to increase the love and the connection, is to set up an intentional container, an intentional space for intimacy with your woman. And this doesn't have to be sexual intimacy. This can just be a space where you guys talk, where you guys connect. All right. So this could be you setting up some incense or some Palo Santo or an essential oil diffuser or some candles, some chocolate, some nice fruits, some nice smells, some nice scents, right? Get everything that enhances the senses, smell, taste, touch. You can get feathers, you can get chains, you can get whatever you like, right? There are no limits, okay? But setting up a space where you and your woman come into this free of distractions, it is an opportunity to open yourself sexually, vulnerably, authentically. But creating this space is what I believe women do truly crave. And it's not just a quickie, right? Like when it comes to sex, it is nice to have something that is really intentional and meaningful. The longer you can go, the stronger you can go, the deeper you can go, the more connection there is going to be, the more healing that can come from this relationship, the more unity can come from this relationship. So this is why I believe having this kind of container is a really nice way, even if it's once a week, once a month, once a fortnight, whatever feels right for you. But if you as a man can set the pace, if you can set the space, I believe that this is going to just impact the quality of your relationship, your intimate relationship, so much more. So with all of that, this is a wrap for this episode on relationships. This is literally part one of probably many parts because like I said, I'm going to make a series out of this. There's just so much. So like I said, if you have any questions, make sure you drop them down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you're on YouTube. Follow the podcast, share it with a friend, and share one thing that you learned from this podcast today. Feel free to share it on your story. I'll be able to repost it. I love connecting with you guys. I love answering questions that you have. Thank you for being here. This is a wrap. Have an amazing day. Venture beyond limitation. Let's go. Hurrah!